It's the co-meet event, and I wish it was Michel Pereira. I'm pretty bummed that they didn't find a replacement for him, but nonetheless, this should be a pretty fun and interesting co-meet when we got the blonde fighter, Katlyn Chookagian, taking on Jennifer Maia. And one thing that jumps out to me is, both of these women fought for that title. They both ended up obviously losing to Valentina Shevchenko, but it was one that Chookagian was finished in, whereas Jennifer Maia was able to both go the distance and be to my knowledge, the only woman at 125 to ever win a round against the Bullets. So pretty impressive showing from Maya, despite it coming in defeat. But most recently, we saw her win against Jessica I. You and I were at that contest. It was one that I remember watching, and I wasn't quite sure how to score it. It seemed like a very close competitive contest for me, but ultimately she did win the unanimous decision. So the judges clearly saw it in Maya's favor. But it was a close contest, and before that, as mentioned, she lost to Shevchenko and beat JoJo Calderwood with a slick armbar submission before that. She did lose to Chookagian before that, though, so this is a rematch, and it's one that I know you're not going to be seeing going any different way because if anyone is bullish on the blonde fighter, it's usually Meat. So, what are your thoughts on this one? Because she has won two straight. So, do you think it's going to be a third one in this rematch?
I don't think Blondie loses to anybody in this division unless your name is the Bullet. She had that one, hiccup McGee to the rib McGee. Uh, Total upset. She will get that done if they run it back with Jessica Andrade. That was just a little, tickle to the tummy punch, and she fell and crumbled. Will never happen again to my Blondie though. I think she's going to get it done very convincingly. She's going to stay on the outside. Just keep that jab nice and tight. Defense strong. I think she's got a good enough takedown defense and very well grappler just in general. I mean, we saw her absolutely demolish the Bullet's little sister. And I think she's going to do very well. And I think she's going to win via decision versus Mai. This is a great fight. Um, and yeah, I'm really excited for this one actually. This is a very fun one, and hopefully after this third win, Blondie can get back and maybe get a title fight again. I kind of feel bad though because she's probably gonna get knocked out if she fights again. But she's an OG. She's awesome, and she truly is the second best fighter in that division, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's a bad beat at 125, right? Because you're chasing gold, you win all these fights, but ultimately, what you're faced with in the end is just the god tier boss, and so it's a difficult road for any of these 125 women for sure. And I think this will be an interesting rematch. You mentioned that you think it probably will end in decision, and Tapology is going that same way, right? 81% is rolling with the blonde fighter. 19% going with Jennifer Maia, and majority of that thing is beige, right? They think that whoever wins this contest is likely to do so by decision. What are your thoughts on how this one plays out, though? Do you think that Chookagian is going to, use her sort of point accumulating style to keep this one standing, or do you anticipate her, I don't want to say playing with fire, but going to the ground where we know Jennifer Maia is clearly more than competent? So, what are your thoughts on how, on how Chookagian decides to tackle this contest?
Yeah, I think she's gonna really want to keep it on the feet. I mean, she has the length, the reach, all that, and she's way faster in my opinion. Maya's kind of like that bulldog that's trying to take her to the ground and pound. But even if it goes to the ground, I think Caitlyn is still a better grappler, and she might be more stronger than Maya thinks. So I think it's gonna be a very tough night for Maya, but maybe I'm wrong. I just really don't see it. I think Caitlyn Blondie is just the better all-around fighter from the ground to the stand-up, and I really like the range and the reach she has. Because she's a couple inches taller.
Yeah, she's a little bit taller. She has 4 inches of reach, and she is pretty slick on the ground. So you wonder if and when Jennifer Maia tries to take it there, like what sort of damage she'll be able to inflict. Because I feel like Chookagian is more than competent down there herself. So ultimately, I'm with you in this one. I don't always pick Katlyn Chookagian. I don't know if I've ever picked Katlyn Chookagian, but I like your points. I like the momentum that she's coming into this contest with. I mean, she took out Calvillo. She took out Viviane Araujo, who is pretty tough in her own regard. And I don't know. I don't see Jennifer Maia having what it takes to make this a different outcome than the one we saw the first time. because while I was impressed with that one round that Maia stole versus Shevchenko, I just think that the accumulation of rounds since that first contest between the blonde fighter and Maia hasn't been enough for me to see Maia's true growth. Or I don't know. I just don't think she's gonna have. I don't think she's improved enough since that contest to make this outcome any different. So I'm with you. I'm rolling with the blonde fighter. I like the decision. Interested to see how this one plays out, though. So, any last thoughts on this co-meet?
No, definitely, it's definitely not Michelle Pereira, but, I'll take it. This will be a good women's fight, and I guess we'll find out who's going to be in that next title fight versus the Bullet. All right, stay tuned, boys. Make sure to slap that meat, subscribe, like the video, and check out our other videos in the meat lock.